Hi guys, and welcome to my Star Patron guide for Lunaria story. The Star Patron system is unlocked at level 55. This includes 3 new instances: Dust Nebula, Magic Nebula, and Nebula Nightmare. The NPC for these, Sergeant I, is located in Lunaria City. The mobs hit pretty hard, so it's a good idea to use HP packs and a combo buff for this, because once you die, you can only revive a maximum of 5 times before being kicked from the instance. You can only do one of these 3 instances once per day. The list on the right shows the number of enemies and bosses remaining. You start out with 5 bosses and 100 enemies, and once you begin the instance, a group of mobs will spawn, just like this. No others will spawn until you've killed those ones off, and then a boss will appear after a few groups. The item list on the right is an indication of the items you can receive in this instance. For every mob you kill, you will gain a small amount of stardust. This goes towards infusing patron stones, which I'll explain later. Bosses in this instance can drop temper stones and patron stone sets, which once opened will add a patron stone into your patron vault, which we'll also go into later. There are 9 different patron stones, each corresponding to a stat. Jade for health, diamond for attack, this counts as both physical and magical, topaz for physical defense, sapphire for magic defense, obsidian for crit strike, onyx for crit damage, moonstone for accuracy, and garnet for dodge. This brings us on to part 2, Star Patrons. You can access the Patron Talents and Patron Vault window by clicking the blue icon on the bottom right next to the mount icon. Materials used in this instance include Stardust and Patron Stones, which you can get from the Nebula instances, Temper Stones, which you can get from the instances or the shop, and lastly Summon Stones, which I believe, after using the few that you get from the level 55 main quest, you can only get from the shop. To begin, you need to summon a patron to your equipment. Patrons come in different grades and offer different stat bonuses and talents which need to be activated. To summon a patron, select a piece of equipment and just click the Call Patron button. I'm going to try this now with my necklace. So I've got my equipment there, my summon stone, and I'm clicking Call Patron, and I've got this Canis Minor. Now you can see the name of the patron, there, the Canis Minor, and the stats and talents you will gain after activating it. We've got crit damage, and its patron talent, which you can see by hovering over this in this corner. We've got Demon Dog. Take note of the colour of the stats the patron will add. This one is blue, but white means common, which is a low increase in stats. I've got one of those here, on magic defense. Green is uncommon, so it's a slight improvement with my attack there. Blue is rare, purple is epic, and yellow for legendary grade stats. Next, I want to show you my favourite patron talent, which is Tactics of Wisdom. For this one, you need to get the 12 zodiac signs into your equipment, so 1 zodiac sign per piece. By hovering over the equipment, like that, you can see your possible stat bonuses, which you'll gain from collecting a whole set of patrons, in this case the zodiac signs. As you can see, I've currently got Taurus in my gloves. To activate the talent, you need to set 1 patron stone of each stat type into the patron vault for that specific equipment piece. The patron's vault is right here next to the patron tab. You can see I've already got 2 in my staff, my wand. You receive these patron stones through the Nebula instances. I've received one earlier, this patron stone set, so I'm just double clicking it to open it, and it will send it straight into my patron vault. Down here in the bottom, I've just received a Jade. These ones are currently at level 1, and they take up 5 spaces. So as you can see here, this Jade I've currently got in my wand, taking up 5 spaces. It's a level 1 Jade and it gives me 360 HP. The aim, or the goal, is to make them all take up one position, so 1 slot. I've managed to already upgrade my diamond, So this takes up 4 spaces. And you can sort of mix and match. So my jade and my diamond fit both of them into the vault, a 5 and a 4, and we get both of these stats. If you're wondering how to make something from 5 spaces to 4 spaces, you need to temper them. And you obviously can get the temper stones from the shop or from the instance. To temper something, you click it in the patron stone part of the vault. You go to temper, the temper thing just here in stone zone. You can see the success rate is currently 50%. And all you need to do is click temper. It requires a small amount of silver. It's based on luck, and apparently I'm very lucky because I've just got a 4-star jade. 4-star jade? 4-space jade, that makes more sense. Lastly, I'm going to cover infusing. The stardust you gain from the nebula instances can be used to upgrade or infuse your patron stone, increasing the stats it gives once slotted into your equipment. These stat boosts work even without activating the patron stone or patron talent. And all you do to upgrade this is click infuse and add stardust. This bit here shows you the amount of stardust I currently have, which is 4,220, and to level up my jade, it's going to cost 2,000 stardust, and if I hover over infuse, it shows me that it's going to give me an extra 420 HP for a 4-slot jade. The 5-slot one increases it by 360. So by clicking infuse, I level it up, and now that's going to give me 840 HP. For images of the shape of patron stones, please visit the R2 Games forums and check out some of the guides. I'll put a link to that in the video description. And thanks for watching. If you've got any questions about this guide, please leave a comment below.